name is Jana Brazzle, and this is my resurrection story. The thing I remember the most is my mother started taking us to a United Pentecostal church, and there was the pastor's daughter, and her husband had 3 little girls, and they were about the age of us 3 girls at the time. And my mother would take us in the mornings, but we never went in the evenings. And he would come pick us up in the evenings. And I knew they didn't have much. We didn't have much either, but they had less than we did, I could tell. But he always picked us up, and then he would take us afterwards to a Baskin-Robbins to get ice cream. And I was so impressed with the fact that he would buy us ice cream when I knew that they did not have much. And they loved us, and I had never had an experience of someone loving me like they did. And I remember asking Jesus to come into my heart. My father, even though he didn't take us, he forced us to abide by the rules of the church. And I remember one time saying to him, "Dad, one of the most admired persons in your life is Miss Soto, and she is a Catholic, and she is a good Christian woman, and she wears pants, and you think she's the most wonderful Christian there is. Why can I not?" So I really struggled with the faith because it wasn't me, but yet I knew I was saved. I knew I was, even as a child, and I am so grateful for the Adams family. They were so good to us. The biggest challenge in my life is growing up with a father who is mentally ill. And my father was severely mentally ill. And my mother wasn't, I would say, mentally ill, but she did not know how to handle it. And I think it affected her, where her mind wasn't right either. My father was very abusive. He physically beat us. There were times that I had to run to neighbors to call the police. But as a child, I still loved my parents. And I don't know why I knew this, but I didn't think they were bad people, but I knew they were sick. And as an adult, I would pray, "God, let them know you. Let them know you." I have invited them to church over and over and over, and I am so grateful to this day that they both attended church, and they both, when they passed, they were right with God, and I'm so grateful for that. Because of the beatings, I became where I had no confidence in myself, and anytime something went wrong in my marriage, it was my fault. It was always my fault. And I would look at myself in the mirror, and I would hate who I was and for what I did to make my husband upset or my kids upset with me. And I would go find a corner in my closet, and I would hurt myself over and over and over. And then I would come out and I would say, "Okay, you were punished, and now you can go on." And that was a challenge in my life, and it was a challenge in our marriage. And finally Carl said to me, he said, "Honey, I love you. I love you so much, but I can't do this anymore. You have to get help, or I can't do this." And he truly gave me an ultimatum. He was not going to stay with me. It's not because he didn't love me, because he knew that I needed help. And I prayed and prayed, and God led me to the right person, Janice Christensen. And she promised me that what I was going through, that she would help me. She promised me, because I had never wanted to tell anybody what truly happened to me, because I didn't want to bring back memories. And sure enough, she helped me, and I don't hit myself anymore. And I look at myself in the mirror, even when Carl and I have an argument or something with my children, and I say, "I am worthy. And I'm sorry that they're mad at me, but they'll get over it." And I think it's made me to be, even though I'm not the best mom by far, but it's helped me to be more understanding with some of my own children's struggles. And when I hear someone tells me that their struggle, I don't tell them my whole story, but it's an opportunity for me to offer that there is help out there. Since being a child, I can't never say I didn't know him. Like I said, when I was younger, there was things I didn't understand about my family, but I knew God was there. As I became an adult, I had struggles, but I always knew God was there. And to this day, I have struggles, and I know He's there. There are times when I journal and I pray, and I would say, I'd write down in my journal, God, I know you're really busy. I know you have a lot going on, and I can help you with this situation in my family if you allow me. And He never allows me. He always says, give it to me. I will take care of it. And what I have to accept is it's in His timing, not mine. Richard and Debbie Wagner were the people that invited us to this church. And I say all the time when I see Richard and Debbie, they planted the seed. And they were the reason that we started coming here. And they loved us. And I remember that when we started coming, I'd never felt, except for with the Adams family when I lived in California, how the love from church people. Larry McGranahan was very community minded. Very community minded. That inspired me so much, and it was because of him becoming involved in my community became very important. And that's one of the reasons I'm in United Way. I work with Helping Hands. I was just inspired by the interest he took in our community. When we started coming here, we actively got involved in children's ministry. I was doing children's ministry with puppets. A lot of people don't know that. And Carl and I taught Sunday school. I think the biggest thing that that God is using me with right now is I love to cook, and I try to do meals every week for families. I'm grateful for the fact that it is it's very rewarding. Food to me is very, very rewarding, and that's something I enjoy doing, and I think that's how God is using me. The church is my family. I love this church. I love what it's done for my family. I love the fact that it has loved me through everything. It has loved my children. I know when Noah comes now, it's huge in his life, and I believe with all my heart, with Micah, it will be the same. This is my family. I'm Jana Brazzle, and I no longer live, but Christ lives in me.